Every single morning, millions of people wake up with dreams bigger than their excuses, but by the end of the day, they've done nothing that moves their life forward. Not because they're stupid, not because they're lazy, but because somewhere along the way, they started surviving instead of living. You see, wasting your life doesn't happen all at once. It happens quietly. One more hour scrolling, one more excuse. One more day saying, I'll start tomorrow, and then suddenly years are gone. The scary part is not failing. The scary part is reaching the end of your life and realizing you never became the person you were capable of becoming. Because winning in life is not about talent. It's not about luck. It's about responsibility. The moment you stop blaming the world, the moment you stop waiting for motivation, the moment you decide that your future matters more than your comfort, that's the moment your life begins to change. So today, this speech is not about motivation. It's about awakening, because if you can hear my voice right now, you are not too late. You still have time to rebuild your habits, your mindset, your future, and your identity. But you must decide, will you continue wasting your life, or will today become the day you finally start winning? Most people think their future is created by one big opportunity, one lucky moment, or one life-changing decision. But the truth is, your future is being created by the small things you do every single day. Your habits are shaping your identity, your mindset, your confidence, your success, and your entire life, whether you realize it or not. Every action you repeat becomes a pattern, and every pattern becomes a lifestyle. If you wake up every day without purpose, delay important work, waste hours on distractions, and avoid discipline, you are training yourself to become someone who never reaches their potential. But if you wake up with focus, take control of your time, push yourself when it feels difficult, and stay consistent even on bad days, you are slowly becoming stronger, smarter, and more successful. The dangerous thing about habits is that they don't feel important in the moment. 1 hour wasted scrolling on your phone doesn't seem like a big problem. Skipping one workout feels harmless. Procrastinating for one day feels normal. But habits work like compound interest. Small actions repeated every day create massive results over time. A person who wastes 3 hours every day on meaningless distractions is not just losing 3 hours. They are losing years of growth, knowledge, opportunities, and progress. And most people never notice it happening because the damage is invisible at first. That's how dreams slowly disappear, not through failure, but through repeated daily neglect. Your habits are always voting for the type of person you become. Every time you choose discipline over excuses, you cast a vote for becoming stronger. Every time you choose growth over comfort, you cast a vote for becoming successful. But every time you choose laziness, delay, negativity, or distraction, you also cast a vote. The problem is that many people want success while their habits are building failure. You cannot create a successful life with self-destructive routines. You cannot build confidence while constantly breaking promises to yourself. And you cannot expect greatness from a mind that spends most of its time avoiding hard things. The quality of your habits determines the quality of your future. If your daily routine is filled with distractions, your future will be filled with regret. If your routine is built around growth, learning, discipline, and consistency, your future will reflect that. Your life is not controlled by what you say you want. It is controlled by what you repeatedly do. This is why successful people often look ordinary in the beginning. Their results are not immediate. They simply commit to habits that most people ignore. They read when others scroll endlessly. They work while others complain. They stay focused while others chase comfort. At first, nothing seems different between them and everyone else. But months later, years later, the gap becomes massive. People see success and think it happened overnight, but they never saw the daily habits behind it. They never saw the mornings when discipline was stronger than excuses. They never saw the sacrifices, the consistency, or the repeated effort that slowly changed someone's life. Your habits also shape your mindset. A person who constantly avoids challenges becomes mentally weak over time. A person who faces discomfort daily becomes mentally stronger. Confidence is not something you magically feel one day. Confidence is built through action. When you consistently keep promises to yourself, your mind starts trusting you. You begin to believe in your own ability to change your life. But when you constantly quit, delay, and make excuses, your mind also remembers that. Eventually, you stop believing in yourself because your habits have trained you to expect failure. Many people are waiting for motivation to change their life, but motivation is unreliable. Habits are what matter. Motivation disappears when things become difficult. Habits remain even when you don't feel like trying. That is why discipline is more powerful than emotion. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems and routines. A person can dream about success all day, but if their habits are weak, their future will remain weak. Dreams without disciplined action become frustration. The good news is that habits can be changed. No matter how much time you've wasted, no matter how undisciplined you've been, your future can still change the moment your daily actions change. One better decision repeated consistently can completely transform your life. Waking up earlier can change your mindset. Reading daily can change your thinking. Exercising consistently can change your confidence. Managing your time can change your future. The small things that feel insignificant today are quietly building the person you will become tomorrow. Your future self is being created right now through the habits you repeat every day. Not once a month, not once a year, every single day. If your habits continue to stay the same, your life will also stay the same. But if your habits improve, even slowly, your entire future begins to shift in a different direction. Successful people are not successful because they are perfect. They are successful because their daily habits align with the life they want to create. Every morning you wake up, you are either building the life you want or destroying the life you want. There is no neutral direction. Every action matters. Every repeated choice matters. Your habits are either pushing you toward growth or pulling you deeper into regret. And the truth is, the future you dream about is already being created by what you do today. Most people spend their entire lives waiting for the perfect time, the perfect opportunity, the perfect mood, the perfect conditions, or the perfect version of themselves before they finally take action. They tell themselves they will start when they feel more confident, when life becomes easier, when they have more money, more support, more knowledge, or more certainty. But the problem is that perfect moments do not exist. Life does not reward people who wait forever. Life rewards people who move despite fear, uncertainty, and discomfort. The biggest dreams are destroyed not by failure, but by hesitation. So many people stay stuck in the same place because they are addicted to preparation instead of action. They think planning is progress. They think waiting is wisdom. But in reality, waiting often becomes another form of fear. Fear has a dangerous way of sounding logical. It tells you to wait a little longer, to think a little more, to avoid risk until everything feels safe. But if you keep listening to fear, years will pass while your goals remain untouched. The truth is that growth never begins when you feel completely ready. Growth begins the moment you decide to move forward, despite feeling unprepared. Every successful person you admire once started before they were ready. They did not have all the answers. They did not have perfect confidence. They did not know exactly how things would work out. But they understood something powerful. Action creates clarity. Most people think clarity comes first and action comes second. But it works the opposite way. You gain confidence by doing. You learn through mistakes. You improve through repetition. You become stronger by facing challenges, not by avoiding them. A person who waits for confidence before starting will remain stuck forever because confidence is built through action. The first workout feels uncomfortable. The first speech feels awkward. The first business idea feels risky. The first step toward change always feels difficult because you are entering unfamiliar territory. But every time you take action, your fear loses power. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to begin. Procrastination slowly weakens your belief in yourself. Every delayed decision sends a message to your mind that your goals are not important enough to pursue right now. Over time, that mindset becomes dangerous because you begin accepting average results as normal. Many people waste years saying things like, "I'll start next month," "I'll start next year," or "I just need more time." But time is passing whether you act or not. Every single day you delay your goals is a day you cannot get back. And eventually one day becomes 1 year, and 1 year becomes a lifetime of regret. The hardest truth to accept is that nobody is coming to save you. No magical moment will suddenly appear and transform your life. Your future changes the moment you stop waiting and start acting. Even small actions create momentum. One step forward is more powerful than endless thinking. People often underestimate the power of starting small because they are obsessed with immediate results. They think success requires huge changes overnight, but real transformation begins with small, consistent action. reading a few pages daily, waking up earlier, exercising for 20 minutes, learning one new skill, or working on your goals for one focused hour may not seem life-changing in the moment, but repeated over time, these actions completely reshape your future. Momentum is created through movement. Once you begin, your mind starts adapting. Discipline becomes easier. Fear becomes smaller. Confidence becomes stronger. But none of this happens while you stay frozen in overthinking. Perfectionism is another trap that keeps people stuck. Some people never start because they are afraid of failing publicly or making mistakes. They want everything to be flawless before taking the first step. But perfection is impossible. Every expert was once a beginner. Every successful person made mistakes, looked foolish, failed repeatedly, and learned through experience. Failure is not the enemy. Inaction is the enemy. Failure teaches lessons. Failure builds resilience. Failure creates growth. But people who never start learn nothing because they remain trapped inside their comfort zone. Comfort is dangerous because it feels safe while slowly destroying your potential. Staying where you are may feel easier today, but comfort eventually turns into regret. Deep down, most people already know what they should be doing. They know the habits they need to change, the goals they need to pursue, and the excuses they need to stop making. But instead of acting, they wait for motivation. Motivation is temporary. Some days you will feel inspired, but many days you will not. If your actions depend on motivation, your progress will always be inconsistent. Successful people understand that action must happen whether they feel motivated or not. They train themselves to move even when emotions tell them to stop. Your future is not built in moments of comfort. It is built in moments when you decide to act despite fear, doubt, laziness, or uncertainty. Every meaningful change begins with a decision. Not a perfect plan, not a guarantee, just a decision to begin. You cannot control every outcome in life, but you can control whether you take the first step. And often that first step changes everything. Opportunities appear when you move. Skills improve when you practice. Confidence grows when you face challenges repeatedly. The person you want to become is waiting on the other side of action. But that version of you will never exist if you continue delaying your growth. Waiting for the perfect moment only keeps you trapped in the same cycle while life continues moving forward without you. And the painful reality is that someday you will either look back proudly at the risks you took or regretfully at the chances you never gave yourself. Most people believe success comes from motivation. They wait for the day they finally feel inspired enough to change their habits, chase their goals, and transform their lives. They watch motivational videos, read powerful quotes, and feel excited for a few hours, maybe even a few days. But eventually that feeling disappears, and when it disappears, so does their effort. That is the problem with relying on motivation. Motivation is emotional. It changes constantly. Some mornings you wake up feeling powerful and ready to conquer the world. Other mornings you feel tired, distracted, stressed, or completely drained. If your success depends on how you feel, your progress will always remain unstable. Discipline is different. Discipline does not care about your mood. It does not ask whether you feel inspired today. Discipline is the ability to continue moving forward even when motivation is gone. And that is why discipline beats motivation every single time. The people who truly change their lives are not the people who feel motivated all the time. They are the people who act consistently regardless of how they feel. They train themselves to show up on difficult days, tired days, stressful days, and painful days, because they understand that success is not built through occasional bursts of motivation. It is built through repeated disciplined action. Anyone can work hard when they feel excited. Anyone can chase goals when life feels easy. But the real test of character happens when you do not feel like trying. That is where discipline separates average people from exceptional people. Discipline is waking up early when your mind tells you to stay in bed. Discipline is working on your goals when distractions are everywhere. Discipline is staying focused when comfort is calling your name. Discipline is continuing the process even when results are slow and nobody is applauding you. Most people quit because they expect instant rewards. They want immediate success, immediate recognition, and immediate transformation. But life rarely works that way. Real growth is invisible in the beginning. You work hard for weeks without seeing major results. You stay consistent while doubting yourself. You continue pushing forward while feeling like nothing is changing. This is where motivation usually disappears. Motivation loves fast rewards. Discipline survives long periods without visible success. That is why disciplined people eventually outperform talented but inconsistent people. Talent can give someone an advantage at the start, but without discipline, talent eventually fades. There are countless talented people who never achieved greatness because they lacked consistency. At the same time, there are ordinary people who built extraordinary lives simply because they stayed disciplined longer than everyone else. Discipline creates trust within yourself. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your confidence grows stronger. Every time you follow through despite difficulty, you prove to yourself that you are capable of growth. But every time you quit, delay, or make excuses, your self-belief weakens. Your relationship with yourself is built through discipline. If you constantly betray your own goals, your mind stops trusting you. That is why many people struggle with confidence. It is not because they are incapable. It is because their actions have trained them to doubt themselves. Discipline also creates freedom. Many people think discipline is restrictive, but the opposite is true. Lack of discipline traps people in stress, regret, financial struggles, poor health, and wasted potential. Discipline gives you control over your life. It allows you to shape your future instead of becoming controlled by temporary emotions and distractions. A disciplined person understands that feelings are temporary. Some days you will feel strong. Some days you will feel weak. Some days your mind will tell you that your goals are impossible. But disciplined people do not negotiate with excuses. They act anyway. This is why routines matter so much. Discipline is not about making one huge decision. It is about creating systems that support your growth daily. Small disciplined actions repeated consistently become life, changing over time. Going to the gym once does not change your body. Reading one book does not change your mindset. Working hard for one day does not create success, but repeating those actions consistently for months and years completely transforms your life. Most people underestimate consistency because the results are delayed. They quit too early because they do not see immediate progress.